Hey guys. Alright, so much better mental state than I was the last time I did a video. Um, I've been actually researching videos and stuff to get ready for the live Sunday, which will be at 7 p.m. And yes, it will be Sunday because I have Sunday off this week and Sunday off next week, I think. Sunday off this week. Our schedules are weird. Because our schedules are Thursday to Wednesday. So our schedule we only have up through the 22nd. I left Andrea, our manager, a message last night, like, can I please have the 30th off? My birthday, please. Hang on, Amy texted me. Hang on, guys. I don't want to create dead space. Okay, sorry, guys. I was texting Amy. Alright, now. The one that I have been wanting to do for a few days is 30 plus off-grid skills you must learn before the collapse. And this is from the Homestead Survival site. So, here we go. We're just going to jump right into it. And yes, I'm doing better. Not as emotionally off as I have been, especially yesterday. I'm doing better. So, alright. Here we go. And show you the picture. There it is. I'll probably use that for the front, maybe, or I'll use one of the other ones. We'll see. Boots, you're a pain in the butt. Historically, any level of societal collapse has an immediate effect on goods and services within a country and even across continents. Things that people would take for granted are in short supply or simply unavailable. As time goes on and the collapse continues, access to many of life's basic necessities becomes a daily challenge. They should have had a period or a comma in there. It's in this environment, I can't read today, that the ability to enable self-sufficient actions and skills can make all the difference in the health and well-being of an individual, their family, and their community. The big question is, to what degree can you enable self-sufficiency in an environment short of resources? The best answer is to engage the skills you need to survive and maintain a stable and healthy lifestyle. The more knowledge and skills you possess, the better your odds for enduring the challenges of highly uncertain times. We're going to review many of the basic skills that you and your family through various that can get you through. Oh my gosh. I can't read today, you guys. We're going to review many of the basic skills that can get you and your family through various scenarios that a societal collapse could bring about. They have a period at the end of the word family, and it threw me off.
No.
It's unrealistic to think that most people could master all of these skills, but we'll conclude with the value of forming and embracing a community to share skills, knowledge, and goodwill to get through the worst of it. Come here, buddy. Bootsies.
He's behind you.
You know. Bootsies. Come here. Bootsies. Come here. Come here, buddy. Says our butthead. To a large degree, various links to books, articles, videos, and basic tools and materials will be featured. The idea is to understand the importance of many of these skills and to at least acquire some of the knowledge you need to create, build, repair, and restore the necessities of everyday life. Some of these skills are modern ideas that have emerged. Others are inspired by the self-sufficiency of our pioneer ancestors, and a few are long-forgotten technologies embraced by ancient civilizations. All of them will have a place in a time when more and more of us may find ourselves on our own. Yeah. So this has a long table of contents. Fundamental survival skills. These are skills focused on the basic necessities of life. They represent the fundamental priorities we need to survive, ranging from food and water to first aid. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Okay. Water. If for any reason the water is not running, finding and purifying water will become an immediate priority. That's why you need to try to get that base covered beforehand. Knowing where to look and how to collect, purify, and store water is a skill some people have never stopped to think about. Boots, no. Now stop being a brat. Many of us may be thinking about it quickly, given that we can't survive 3 days without it. In fact, 5 civilizations collapsed in the first place because of a shortage of water. Mr. Purry Butt. Hey, 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 hey. Really? Alright, I'm gonna pause this for just a second, guys. Alright, sorry guys. My head hurts.
Strange, they didn't release the whole thing. Large sections remain redacted to this day. Why would America's premier intelligence agencies take such a keen interest in what appears to be nothing more than a catastrophic pseudoscience mixed with biblical interpretation? It goes on.
Okay. It's Lisa Haven. Probably gonna use part of her on this video on Sunday. For my 3rd live in a row, week 3. Alright. Books, articles, videos. Oh, that's on. Oh my gosh. I could do like a million videos on here. Alright. There's gonna be a ton of videos. And I'll go over that before the end of this video. Finding water. Knowing where to look for water in and around your location is a necessary skill in addition to ability to assess water quality. Really, Boots? You're such a brat. See what kind of a brat he is? Will you stop? No. Rivers, lakes, and ponds are the obvious choice, but springs and creeks may or may not be better alternatives. Would you stop it? Nebula, quit. Rainwater is always a possibility, and don't forget there's 40 to 50 gallons of water in that water heater in the basement for emergencies. Alright, and then there's more books, articles, videos, supplies. And again, we'll go over that. I'll probably get a lot of my next videos out of this. Purifying water. Even rainwater is Rainwater requires some level of filtering and purification, mostly due to the collection of dust, dirt, debris, and bird droppings that accumulate on a roof, which is a common collection source for rain. Knowing how to really construct a filter and how to bounce. Dang it. Such a butt. He's a brat. I didn't want him up behind me. Knowing how to construct a filter and how to purify water with improvised materials is a skill that transcends water purification tablets that will eventually run out. And that's true. Yeah, there are so many boots. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna keep doing this. Lay down. Being a butthead. Jeez. Water storage. It makes sense to store water, but there are limits. You need a lot of water in storage to last any length of time, and water is heavy at 7.5 pounds per gallon. Nebula, quit! Did you leave him alone? Nebula's such a butthead. Excuse me. Water also has a shelf life, so knowing what to do and how to preserve and store water and all of the things involved with water storage is an easy but important skill to know. Ugh. And then there's books, articles, and videos on that. Supplies. Wells, which we have, but we gotta get the hand pump. Most of us wouldn't think to dig a well on our property, at least until we've got a few months struggling to find and collect water. Success with any dug well depends a lot on geography and your locations. You could fly. But knowing how to find the best spot to dig a well and what's involved with actually digging it is a skill that can not only help you but friends and family members as well. And again, books, articles, videos, supplies, food. Food seems to emerge as a priority in most of the survival information out there. But stockpiling is a short-term solution if you become totally dependent on food storage for nutrition. Skills associated with food go beyond storage to gardening variations, food preservation, and cooking approaches in a possible off-grid environment. It's best to have as many seeds as possible. That's the reason why I'm going to be going for 18-gallon totes full of seeds. Literally full of seeds. Books, articles, videos, supplies, gardening. Yeah. Sustainability is key to many aspects of survival, and self-sufficiency through gardening is one of the most sustainable activities. How to turn your yard and even buckets into a high-yielding garden can go a long way toward providing you with food security. Books, articles, and there's a lot of them, videos, a lot of them, supplies, survival seed bank, which they're probably going to angle you towards Amazon for that. And then solar-powered drip irrigation, which I might look into that. I don't know. Cooking. Many of us are accomplished barbecue chefs for the occasional weekend cookout, but how many of us can cook outdoors for 3 meals a day, 7 days a week? At a time without gas or electric power, having the ability to cook a variety of meals from soups to stews to baking and roasting over an open fire will be a necessary skill. It may be worth taking the time to learn about all of the ways to do it. Again, books, articles, videos, supplies, yeah. Food preservation. Whether you grow your own vegetables, raise livestock, hunt, fish, or forage, knowing how to preserve the foods you hunt and gather is a critical skill. This is especially true in a time that is potentially without the conveniences of refrigeration or freezing. Off grid, I'm telling you. Stupid flies, what the heck? Really? Wow, you use your time so wisely. Again, books, articles, videos, supplies, medical skills, and first aid. A nightmare scenario is when hospitals are overrun and doctors and dentists are simply unavailable. Alright, you know what? Grid down. after the first week or so, the hospitals are going to end up being abandoned. There isn't going to be anybody to turn to, any place to turn to. So you're going to have to know how to do this stuff on your own. Having a range of medical skills that go beyond band-aids and sunburn are literally vital. And then again, books, articles, videos, supplies, which we need to actually pull together our medical supplies, natural remedies. Pharmaceuticals run in a delicate supply chain, and even over-the-counter medications will be in short supply after a societal collapse. They're not healthy anyway. They're poison. Knowing herbal and natural remedies that are proven and clinically validated will be one of the most important skills in a collapsed society. Your best bet are going to be the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, 1 and 2. I still need to get the second one. Books, articles, videos, supplies. I do need a mortar and pestle, and I need a big, huge medicinal herbal seed bank. Temperature management, heating. Without the grid, most people won't have heat. Having the knowledge and skills to design, build, and improvise heating solutions is something some of us don't spend enough time thinking about. Having the skills to improvise and implement alternative heating solutions for a variety of applications is another critical skill set. Now, the other thing, we're going to have to figure out how to get enough wood on this property that's going to last a long time. I mean a long, long time. Because without vehicles, we literally might have to turn to the Amish for help in being able to get somewhere to go use axes and saws to cut wood. Not a chainsaw. Nothing gas powered, nothing like that. Because you can't get gas for it anymore. What? Books, articles, videos, supplies. Cooling. Recent heat waves we keep reading about may become a regular occurrence. Air conditioning is the go-to solution, but what do you do when the power is out? There are ancient solutions and some new ways to stay cool and hydrated when the heat is at its worst. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Again, there's going to be... I think I'm going to go to this to, start doing a bunch of videos out of. If you look at collapsed society... Okay, self-defense. I'm sorry. That's the next one. If you look at collapsed societies today from Haiti to Somalia, you'll see the need for varying levels of self-defense preparations. And it's not about just collecting a lot of guns. Here are some of the key skills to keep in mind when all things become unpredictable. And it doesn't go into it. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Off-grid skills. If one thing consistently shows up in the collapsed societies from the recent past is that the local power grids are both unreliable and often down. And it's not just the power grid, but internet, communications, water, and most everything else that relies on electricity to varying degrees to be functional. This is when pioneer and even ancient skills that emerged at a time without power become critical knowledge for survival. Again, books, articles, videos, supplies. Not supplies, but yeah. Harvesting the power of water. Sorry, I am tired. Anyone living near a spring, creek, or river has the ability to harness water power to accomplish a variety of tasks, from generating electricity to powering machinery and tools. You just have to have the skills to make it happen. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Harvesting the power of the wind. Windmills and wind power are nothing new. Farms have used windmills for centuries to pump water, and the Dutch are still famous for their windmills to grind grain into flour and power everything else on their farms. There are contemporary solutions that can be used, and understanding how to erect them and harness the power of the wind is an old skill worth revisiting. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Harvesting the power of the sun. Cultures have been using the sun to dry fruits, vegetables, and wild game for centuries. The ancient Egyptians used polished, parabolic sheets of bronze to reflect the sun into darkened spaces. As today, we have solar panels that harness the sun's energy to create electricity. Knowing all the ways to use the sun is an ancient skill, and if you don't have the solar panels on hand, you could actually make a solar panel from old CDs. Interesting. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Harvesting the power of gravity. You don't come across a lot of information about the power of gravity, but ancient cultures were masters of using gravity to their advantage. Understanding how you can cause the weight of objects and liquids to your advantage with levers, fulcrums, and pulleys is a lost skill worth remembering. Books, articles, videos, and supplies. Hand tool mastery. In a grid down scenario, extension cords will be a thing of the past. So will all of the tools that were powered by electricity. Having the skill and ability to use hand tools for all of the things we used to do with power tools will be the only option for a range of projects. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Blacksmithing, another lost art worth remembering. A simple anvil and a homemade forge will give you the ability to forge and shape metal with the use of some basic tools. It's a great skill to master as a source of skill barter or because there are some things that duct tape and zip ties just can't fix. Books, articles, videos, supplies. That's going to be the whole thing. Animal husbandry. In addition to gardening, raising animals for food is a critical and sustainable practice and skill. It can be as simple as chickens and rabbits or as ambiguous as pigs and cows. We don't have the room. I don't really want to deal with pigs because I don't have the money for the fencing. And I know I was talking about feeder pigs, which would put a lot of meat in the freezer. But we also have to have a way to store it without the electricity. So I've really got to dive into that and try to figure out how to do it on this property. Because, yeah. Okay. Horses are the go-to source of power on any Amish farm. You could even consider fish farming and raising other fowl like ducks, turkeys, and geese. I do actually want to raise ducks, turkeys, geese, guineas, rabbits, quail. Yeah. Sorry, guys. No, it's just what will end up happening.
Susie?
Nice.
Guess I didn't find another one yet. I brought another egg carton in here because this one's almost full.
Sorry, guys, I was texting Amy back. Sorry, guys. Not trying to create dead space. Amy started talking about things going on. Sorry, I apologize for that. Come on. It jumped up a ways. Oh, this is long. I realize how long this was. Holy crap. Jeez. Okay, animal husbandry. Alright, and then obviously books, articles, videos, and supplies.
No, not right now. Get on.
Alright, sorry about that. Basic trade skills. The ability to build, rebuild, repair, and restore anything will be a constant challenge and in constant demand. These skills are excellent barter skills and will most likely be needed on a regular basis. Books, articles, videos. Carpentry. While it's true that lumber yards may be a thing of the past, there will be no shortage of scrap wood, pallets, and even timber to some degree. The carpentry skills and ability to work with wood will be one of the most valuable skills you can master. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Timber frame construction. The Amish are known for their timber frame construction skills, and at a time when even basic things like hardware may be in short supply, it makes sense to understand this brilliant concept. It involves learning the ways to chisel, shape, and fashion wood to make joints that don't require traditional hardware to hold together. In a time of widespread collapse, it may become one of the most viable approaches to new construction. Never gonna get this video done. Alright. So again, books, articles, videos, supplies, lumbering and timber. If you have trees on your property or access to wild trees, you have a valuable source of timber for building and firewood. That assumes you have the skills to safely fell a tree and know how to cut, saw, and shape it into the lumber you need. Well, we're probably going to have to rely on downed trees. We're going to have to be able to walk out into the woods with our cart and an axe. I've got to try to get a mini hatchet and saws. We're not going to be cutting trees down. We can't do it. There's just no way. Now, like, I might actually get what they call a couple of pocket chainsaws, which is just like that. You hold it on. There's like a handle on both sides. It's like this bladed chain kind of thing, and you just kind of saw through the. Don't try to kill spiders with your hand. That's just stupid. Anyway, but yeah, I think I'll go ahead and try to get one of them or a couple of them. These flies are driving me crazy. I don't know where the flippin' fly swatter is. Ugh. Flies are annoying as all get out. Gonna beat them up. Get off my computer! Go away. Anyway. But yeah, because that'll give us a way to cut wood that's already down. And there's plenty of places around here where we could find that. We'll just have to walk or see if the Amish can give us a ride, and like barter out that kind of thing with them, or we'll figure it out. There's areas down there's areas down that way. We're just gonna have to learn to walk. So again, books, articles, videos, supplies. Okay, roofing. Roofs are the most susceptible to all manner of natural disasters, from wind to hail to falling trees and simple wear and tear. The skills to fix a roof are fairly straightforward, but failing to make any repairs or new installations improperly done can have disastrous consequences. Okay, the roof that Dad had put on our house, the main part of it, yes, it is shingles, but it had like a 30-year guarantee. So we should be alright unless something falls in the house. And I want to think that way. The skills to fix a roof are fairly straightforward, but failing to make any repairs or new installations improperly done can have disastrous consequences. Knowing how to do roofing right can avoid adding another problem to what may be a long list of disasters. Now, this chick ain't getting on the roof. I'm too scared of heights. And this house is just no. Again, books, articles, videos, supplies, masonry. Basic masonry is another fairly simple skill, but there are more than a few mistakes can make all your efforts a fail. This is another skill that can be bartered from walling a well to new foundations for structures and a growing demand for fireplaces. Now, unless you know where to get the bricks from or know how to make them, masonry is going to be kind of a hard thing after the grids go down. So again, we got books, articles, videos, supplies, plumbing. Old plumbing never dies. It just starts to leak a lot. Whether you're improvising a plumbing solution for your new rain barrels or confronted with a leaking pipe in the basement, there's a good chance a good plumber will be hard to find. Take some time to master at least some of these basic plumbing skills, and while you're at it, assemble some of the critical tools. And we're going to have to do that. Books, articles, videos, supplies, electrical. Whether you're installing solar panels for the first time or trying to connect a generator to power your house, understanding the skills surrounding electricity and electrical connections is something you may eventually encounter. This is especially true in a time of inconsistent electricity, when brownouts and blackouts cause power surges when the electricity occasionally comes back on. That ain't going to happen after the power grids go down, because once they're down, they're down. As Brad said, when I was playing that video in the background for you guys on this last Sunday, the power grids will be down for at least a minimum of 10 years. But you know what? I do believe Jesus will return before that. So we're looking at the very end times. Automotive repair. If you look at photos of streets from countries in the midst of economic or societal collapse, you'll no doubt notice something about the cars on the street. They all tend to be older and very, very used. In an economy where few can afford the grand luxury of a new car, the only alternative is to keep those old cars running. Well, good luck, because you're not going to be able to get gas after the power grids go down. This is a skill well worth learning regardless of the situation. Books, activities, articles, videos, supplies. Small engine repair. Again, we'll be able to get gas. Here's a short list: chainsaws, lawnmowers, tractors, leaf blowers, trimmers, go-karts, motorcycles, mini bikes, compressors, generators, and more. Alright, again, you won't be able to go get gas. Alright. It's always going to be a challenge to find gas, but if gas is on hand, it sure helps to have a chainsaw working or a generator running. In a time when most things have to be done by hand, it makes sense to have the skills to keep those rare and precious small engines running. Alright. I'm going to end up probably just having to get an old reel push lawnmower. The blades, the spinning. It's going to cost us about $80. But that and old trimmers. So I'm going to have to stock up on those. And between that real lawnmower and the trimmers, that's how we're going to have to keep everything cut down. So. And I'm going to make sure that I have a sectioned off perennial big medicinal garden for all of those medicines. And I've got to stock up on the alcohols and all that kind of stuff. Craft skills. This goes beyond hobbies to what you could better be described as life skills. This is the ability to make many of the domestic things we need for everyday life. And, okay, so I need a whole bunch of fabric, a whole bunch of thread, a whole bunch of sewing notions. I need to win the lottery, you guys. Some of these skills are very traditional, like sewing and quilting. Others are a little more complex, like pottery and leather crafting. At a time when everything is hard to buy, it makes a lot of sense to have the skills to make or fix it yourself. Okay. The leather working, we can probably make a deal, do some bartering and stuff with the Amish. I'm going to get busy on getting a bunch of yarn, even if I have to. I don't know, I got to take a trip to Meijer, make sure I have about $40, $50 that I could spend on just yarn. Or maybe what I could do out of a paycheck is do $25, $30 on just yarn and $25, $30 on sewing stuff. Get this stuff stocked up. And I'm going to need totes upon totes upon totes upon totes upon totes upon totes upon totes for everything that we got to stock up on. Plus, I got to stock up on soap supplies. Well, I work the 18th. Stop. Stop. Hang on. Okay, again. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Yeah, this is paracord. What the heck? I mean, probably, yeah. Sewing. Everyone should know this basic skill, and it's important to remember that much of it will be done by hand. The supplies are inexpensive. Well, it depends on where you go. So make sure you have plenty stocked up for the day when you will most definitely need them. And they don't last forever, so I'm probably going to need a full 18-gallon tote of nothing but thread, and a bunch of needles, and everything else that goes with sewing. And a bunch of totes with nothing but fabric in them. So, yeah. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Knitting, crocheting, and quilting. Okay. I can hand sew quilt blocks together. I'm going to have to stock up on the batting, the natural cotton batting for the inside of them, and the fabric for the back. I'm going to have to make sure I have all of that stuff because there's a chance I won't get those quilts done before the grids go down. So I'm going to have all that stuff on hand so I can get all that stuff done. Plus, we have to stock up on the lamps, the oil lamps to use, the solar powered lamps, stuff like that. Yeah. LED is not good for your eyes, though. Another skill using simple tools and material with some basics that are easy to learn. Take the time to understand the basic stitches, even if it's just to knit a foraging bag from some old cordage. I would rather crochet. I've never gotten into knitting. Okay. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Pottery. You don't need a potter's wheel, but it helps. If you live in an area with any clay in the ground, the skills of a potter will allow you to make and fire a variety of utensils from bowls to plates, cups, pitchers. Be good to know how to improvise if you break a plate and can't replace it from long blocks of closed stores. We have plenty of plates, and we can always get more. So we can stock up on stuff from Goodwill. So, yeah. You can go for tin plates. So, yeah. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Woodworking. It's not about decorations. It's about shaping wood to make axe handles, fix drawers and shutters, craft utensils, fix windows and doors, and anything else that requires precise cutting and crafting of wood. When no one else is around to do it, it's all up to you. Alright. Books, articles, videos, supplies, leather crafting. Again, I'm sure we could probably strike a barter or something with Amish for, this kind of thing. Another lost art that is surprisingly simple and allows you to upcycle old pieces of leather into new items from belts to bags to axe and knife sheaths and anything else you need with the flexibility and durability of leather. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Alright, upcycling in general. In a time of widespread improvisation, upcycling skills give you the ability to make anything out of anything. This is a hybrid of skills that's defined more as a mindset and the ability to see the potential of lost or discarded objects. It's all about having the ability to see the potential for anything and knowing how to reinvent it and make what you need. And that's one of the things that homesteaders having that homestead mindset of, okay, well, this is gone from this container, well, maybe we could use it for this. Like with old water bottles. I can actually make a good watering system in raised beds with them. So that's why we're collecting them. Books, articles, videos, supplies. Social skills. Many of us already possess a good set of social skills until people irritate the crap out of me and then I just want them all to go away. But we may need some new ones or enhance some of the skills we already have in a time of collapse. Yeah, I'm not very tactful when it comes to some things. From a stress standpoint, it's going to be a very tense time, and interactions with other people will require a combination of caution and sensitivity. There will also be some unique situations that we may have little or no experience with. Books, articles, videos. Negotiating. To a larger degree, every conversation with others can fall into the category of a negotiation. There may be little time nor patience for small talk when people don't have much. There's a good chance they'll be looking for something. Take the time to rethink your basic negotiation skills. That's where bartering comes in. Be ready to do that in the books, articles, videos. Bartering. Here we go. Barter economics emerge rapidly and collapse. Societies knowing how to assemble items for barter and once again negotiating a trade. For a trade will be a valuable skill in a barter marketplace. Books, articles, videos, languages. It's tough to learn a new language, but it can be done. You might also want to learn some common phrases and expressions if there are people in your area who don't speak your language. Times of societal collapse have seen epic migrations, and if you find yourself surrounded by people you don't understand, you'll be at a disadvantage. That is true. That's going to take time I don't really have a lot of, so maybe. Building a community. We save the most important skill for last. It goes beyond safety and numbers. A strong community is built on sharing and compassion. Part of that sharing and compassion is offering a unique skill, either in trade or as a generous gesture, to help someone overwhelmed by a task. Just as important is assessing the skills of people in your community. It's unreasonable to believe that someone could master all of the skills we've identified, but across a community, there's a good possibility that many of those skills will be represented by the collective group. Take the time to build a community or join one. Make sure there is some level of identification of skill sets across the community so people know where to turn for help with a situation or challenge. In the end, the community you inhabit, whether it be extended family, friends, or neighborhood, or a village, will be the ultimate factor in your survival after the collapse. Again, books, articles, videos, supplies. Yes, there's more. Without doubt, we've probably missed some skills that would be important in a collapsed society. From beekeeping to candle making to surgery, there are numerous skills and capabilities that will be needed when events are so unpredictable. The skills you'll need will also be dependent on your location and situation. If you can think of any skills we missed, pursue them, or better yet, identify them in the comments. So, yeah. And the candle making thing, that's a definite. I'm going to stock up on beeswax and wicks. But I got to stock up on honey and all that good stuff. So, I'm going to see.
I'm glad you didn't do that on me.
Why are you using a notebook?
I just grabbed this. This is another pin I'm starting.
Okay, well that's
It's not
gonna be
a pin. It's from a website.
That's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt to add it to the binder.
I will take care of it.
Did you run out of paper?
No! There's still paper in there. I just grabbed this to start working on it.
Well, don't do that very much because it's gonna make it to where it's a pain in the butt to add it to the binder.
No, it's got holes here and a perforation.
Filler paper, you don't have to worry about that. Oh, my nose. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna get off from here, you guys, because this is a really long video, and I really want to try to get it up here. I might actually unplug my computer and take it upstairs and plug it in so it can stay open. So, because I don't dare leave it open down here. No, that would not be good. I'd be upset. It's after 2. I wish I didn't have to work today. I don't want to work today. I don't want to work Friday. I was happy when I didn't have to work Friday and Saturday. I don't like working Sundays, though. I do with the fact that we close at 10 o'clock. But I don't because I really don't like working on Sunday. And I really like being able to do my lives on Sunday. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and get off from here. Please keep an eye on your subscriptions. Welcome, new subscribers. Glad you're on here. I really hope you get a lot of good information out. A lot of my focus now is going to be on trying to get everybody prepared for what's coming. What's coming? Go back and watch the last 2 live videos that we did to get an idea. And we're going to be going live Sunday at 7 p.m. So tune in on Sunday night. Everyone is invited. All 255 of you subscribers, you're all invited. Work schedules permitting. And I will see you guys in the next video. I will definitely try to do one tomorrow morning. Again, it's probably going to be off from the Homestead Survival site because it's really, 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 really important to get this information out there. You guys have got to know. And you know what? Start writing stuff down. Start writing stuff down, you guys. You got to have it on paper. We're coming right down to the wire. It's so imperative and so important. Again, I'm going to get off from here. I will see you guys in the next video. Tune in live on Sunday. Check your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed. Click on that notification bell. Click on all to make sure you get all the notifications, sorry. And do your research. Because that is your key to knowledge, is that research. And that's important. Because that knowledge is what's going to help you survive. See you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys.